What's the first thing you think of when you hear the phrase video game? For me, the words are fun, entertainment, and challenge. All of these words have one thing in common, and the thing in common is gameplay, the quintessential element in any game. Welcome again to my web series, Let's Get Immersive. Today, I'll explain the intricacies of gameplay and how it intertwines with the other aspects of a game. So, let's get on with it. What is a gameplay? A gameplay. Gameplay is the glue that sticks all the game parts together. Gameplay refers to the interaction between a player and a game and the result of these two actions. These two actions are the input, where you push your joystick forwards and your character responds accordingly, and the computing, where the console or computer you are using transforms your input into ones and zeros so it can be processed to achieve the product, which is also called output. This refers to a visual change in the game, be it a small step to a planet-busting attack. So, gameplay is all about the interaction and the output given to us to process and repeat this process again. Sounds simple enough, right? Wrong. Most games fall into different categories, but despite this, each game manages to feel different from one another, except for some exceptions. Copycats. Ooh, sorry. I have the flu, can't control it. Anyway, each game comes at you with their own twist to their respective genre. For example, Braid, a game which has a very familiar formula. Smells like Super Mario clone, right? But you couldn't be further from the truth, because this game has a really original mechanic: time travel. Yeah, I know. In Braid, if you mess up, you can rewind time and try again. In addition to this, some objects are not affected by time travel, so you can set up some pretty elaborate ways to pass a level. These special mechanics are what dictate how the game plays and how you should react to obstacles and the enemies along the way. Okay kids, buckle up and sit tight because this bus ain't stopping till it runs someone over. Oh my god, that joke got real dark real fast. The gameplay of a game is only as good as the one who is controlling the flow of the game. That is to say, the interaction between you and the controller. The controller, or more specifically, the controls of a game, are vital to any video game due to the fact that they dictate how you move and progress in a game setting. For example, the first video game ever, Pong, you only had two options for movement: up and down, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down. Oh my god, oh it made me dizzy. Oh god, the controls, yeah, okay. The controls also have a part in gameplay because the fluidity of the actions you make in a controller are represented in the game. Currently, there are a lot of controller schemes and it would be impossible to name all of the individual combinations for every type of game, but one thing remains. The more advanced and fluid the controller feels, the better and more enjoyable the experience becomes. Okay, now let's converse about the flow of gameplay in a video game setting. Ooh, big boy words. The smoothness of a game refers to two things: the reactiveness of a game and the seamless transition from action to action. A great example of this is one of my favorite games of this decade, Hollow Knight. In this game, you play as a little bug traversing through a hostile environment. Through the journey, you may find a ledge too tall for your small legs to grasp, or a never-ending void that is impossible to jump through. The game encourages exploration to find certain items that will aid you in your quest. These roadblocks never feel unnecessary because the game flows like butter. Find the tall edge? No problem. Take an alternate route to find the item and overcome the challenge. Survive, adapt, and overcome, as a legend once said. The baseline is that a smooth game can improve your experience by making you infer about different challenges and daring you to explore and have fun, while also testing your reaction time and problem-solving skills. The final element that affects gameplay is a sub-characteristic of immersion itself. Can you guess what it is? Yes, Jamal. Don't know. Ugh, you're all hopeless. It's the music. Yes, music, that magical composition you hear while working or out in a long ride home. Everyone loves music, and from this love of music, game producers can create musical masterpieces to go along with the style and rhythm of their games. As I had established before, every game has a flow or rhythm, and this rhythm brings along music that corresponds to the type of game. For example, fighting games tend to have a repetitive and catchy electronic beats, or in the case of schoolgirls, some bombastic blues. The music of action-adventure games usually depends on the nature of the game. We can put Bloodborne as an example. This game is gritty and dark. Thus, it has an ominous yet beautiful choral arrangement. Just listen to this. And in a total contrast to this, there is Kirby, a series of games which features everybody's favorite anthropomorphic pink marshmallow. Just look at it, but not for too long, you might get diabetes. Anyway, the Kirby franchise offers us charming and cute adventures with a corresponding sweet sounding and cute soundtrack that emphasizes the sweetness of the game. Let's listen to a fragment of the soundtrack. See, it's just plain cute. Music also affects the pace of a game, or even how you play it altogether, like the Guitar Hero franchise, which revolves around solely music, or Tomb of the Necro Dancer. That dictates when you should move depending on the tempo, also known as the speed of the currently playing music. This means that music can dictate the flow of a game based on its tempo, thus guiding you on when to act and what your expected reaction time should be. I was inspired by a video by the game theorists for this section of the video. In that video, they also talk about games tempo and how music theory plays a huge role on the gameplay of Dark Souls. Check it out if you're interested, link in the description. Okay, let's make a quick summary of what you learned today. Gameplay is the central piece of every video game, giving games structure and a category they fall into. We also know that the flow of a game is tied to two aspects, the transition from action to action and the music. Finally, we learned that music is also integral when talking about video games, and it can be used in a variety of ways. Well, that's all I had to talk about for today, folks. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe because there will be plenty of more Oh no. Oh no, what do you want now? I know, but I'm hungry. Can I at least eat? What? Berry? Like singular? Like just one? Really? Can't I have more? Really? Just one? Okay, it's better than airline food, I guess. Oh, what do you mean I'm still recording? Oh, I am. Sorry.